Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yes, finally I'm going to be reviewing the new Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. As you know, Hourglass do the Vanish Stick Foundation, which is an absolute dream of a foundation. Honestly, it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite foundations and definitely my most favorite foundation stick. So obviously Hourglass have set the bar really high for their foundations. So I'm expecting no less, if not better, from this new liquid foundation of theirs. Hourglass actually allowed me to pick up a few of the shades so I can try them out, test them and see which shade worked best for me. So I feel like there's two shades of this foundation that I can actually get away with wearing on their own, or if I mix the two then they look great together as well. So I wanted to show you what the shades look like swatched on my face next to the two shades mixed together. Now the first one I have is Warm Beige, and I really like this shade because this foundation's got quite a neutral undertone which I feel works perfectly for me. And then the other shade is Golden Tan, and Golden Tan is what I actually use in the stick foundation, and like the name says, it's definitely got more of a yellow golden undertone to it. And then the two of these foundations mixed together, I feel like I get an even more perfect match, just because I get a really nice amount of warmth coming through from Golden Tan, and then mixed with Warm Beige I'm getting that neutral undertone to come through as well, and I just feel like there's a really good balance. However, if you didn't want to get two shades, which I completely understand why you wouldn't want to, either of these shades work perfectly for me. I have worn them individually and I've not felt like, oh my god, this shade looks really weird or odd. It's just whether you want more of a neutral undertone or you want to look a little bit more golden. If you are my skin tone, then that's kind of up to you if you want to look a bit more neutral or you want to look a little bit more golden. But as you can see on my face, they look absolutely fine individually, and then mixed together, I mean, everything is always better when it's been mixed with another shade. So this foundation actually comes out in 32 shades, which is exactly the same number of shades that they have in the stick foundation, and I believe that's a good amount of foundations to have in a range. Every brand should be doing a minimum of 30 shades in a range. I just think it's a joke to have any less than that, to be honest. So yeah, that's not bad. So a little bit about this foundation. It's definitely a medium to full coverage foundation. Hourglass actually suggests just using half a pump and then really buffing it into the skin with like a nice dense brush like this if you want lots of coverage, or you can use a more fluffy brush to kind of spread it out and give your skin more of like a skin-like finish. But the coverage of this foundation is insane. I personally like to use one whole pump just because I do like more full coverage, and this foundation is definitely buildable. I never really do one light layer of foundation. I always will go in with a little bit more, especially in areas where I definitely need a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, coverage on this foundation is just insane. Like it covers, it's good. In terms of the finish of this foundation, you can see it's on my skin right now, and it's actually been on my face for about 3-4 hours at this point, and I feel like it gives me radiance, but not in a wet, dewy way. Like, it's not dewy, it's almost like a really nice satin finish with radiance coming through. I hope that makes sense. So it's just gonna give you a nice healthy skin-like glow, almost as if you've really looked after your skin, like your skincare routine is on point, so makeup on top of that is just, it's gonna look banging. It's actually got light refracting microspheres in this, so that's what's actually gonna give you that nice blurred effect to your skin, and also that soft focus effect, almost a bit like an Instagram filter in person. Honestly, the finish of this foundation is beautiful. It's actually insane. Now, it also claims to last 24 hours. I personally haven't been awake or worn makeup for 24 hours, but I have actually tried and tested this wearing this for a really long ass day, and when I say long day I mean over 12 hours. I've also worn this foundation out clubbing, so you know, girl, it gets hot, it gets sweaty, and yeah, my foundation when I came home, I'm not gonna lie, actually that time I went out wearing this foundation, I came home in the early hours of the morning. You know when you go out and then you go to an after party and then you go to the chicken shop and then you go home? That's what happened. Anyway, my foundation was still very much on. It hadn't separated. I didn't have any sort of patchy areas whatsoever. It was on, and coverage was still amazing after a long night out as well. So after that, I was definitely impressed. I feel like whenever I wear foundation clubbing and then I come home and I check it, and if it looks good, it's passed the test for me. This also claims to be transfer proof, waterproof, and sweat proof. Now, waterproof, I haven't actually been in a pool or been in the shower to test that it's waterproof, but I definitely have sweated in this foundation. I know, how cute. And like I said before, it was still very much in place and intact. In terms of it being transfer proof, I have to say when I touch it, it doesn't feel sticky, tacky, or anything. And as you can see, there's nothing on my hands right now. And that's even after me patting away at this. Now, they also say that you don't need to use a primer with this foundation, but I personally love using primers anyway. So I've worn it without and it's been fine. But yeah, it's just in my kind of routine to use a primer, and I just enjoy using primers, so I still do. But you can totally skip that step if you want to, because it stays put and it does go on beautifully even without one. Finally, I just want to mention the price. Yeah, it is £51. Yeah, £51. That is expensive. That is definitely high-end luxury category. It's a special occasion foundation, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously the packaging is super high-end, and it's got this really nice frosted glass bottle. You do get a pump with the foundation, and the pump is actually very smooth. And when I say the pump is smooth, I mean it's not hard to pump the product out. It just comes out like really nice. And lastly, you get 25 mils of foundation in here, which I think is taking the piss a little bit, just because most foundations, even high-end ones, I feel like 30 mils is the absolute minimum. So anything less than that is a little bit of a joke, especially when the foundation is £51. But I do understand where they're coming from. A little bit of this does go a long way. The coverage of this foundation is amazing, and it's super highly pigmented. So yeah, you're not gonna need to use too much foundation, which is why I think they've tried to get away with 25 mils instead of 30 mils. But still, you know, I think 30 mils, everyone expects 30 mils. But yeah, aside from that, I have to say this foundation is beautiful. I do love it. It's one of my absolute favorite foundations probably ever. This is definitely a #1 go-to foundation, and definitely one for a special occasion. And now I know that there's only 25 mil in here. I am not going to be grabbing this damn thing every day. I need to hold on to this and save it for like a really special occasion, or days where I know I need my makeup to last, and I can't just be putting this on every day just for jokes. Oh my god. Comment down below and let me know if you're going to try this foundation yourself, or if you've already got this foundation, and let me know what you think of it. I would love to know your thoughts, and if you feel the same way as me, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you'd like any more reviews, and of course please don't forget to subscribe, join the family, and last but not least, get me on the gram too. I create separate content over there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.